guys, John from John Mather Photography here on behalf of hypop.com.au. Check them out for all your photography lighting needs. Now today I'm bringing to you some new triggers. These are called the Meyin RF604. Now these are a budget entry dumb flash, and what I mean dumb trigger, and what I mean by dumb trigger, they are non-TTL. They just tell your flash when to fire. So they don't have any smarts about them. But in saying that, they do have some really cool features. Right, so let's start off with having a look at it. So on the trigger, you've got on-off switch, a sync port, which is 3.5mm jack, which is awesome for your monoblocks, studio lighting, and things like that, as opposed to the standard PC sync, which is outdated and old and not very reliable. It also has a group functionality, so it controls 3 groups. Group A, Group B, Group C. Doesn't control them in terms of power. What it does, it enables you to independently turn them on, turn them off. That's quite a handy feature. You're a wedding photographer, you might have multiple setups, so you can just, with at one go, so you set up in the reception, set them up into from there, so you can independently control which ones fire and which ones don't, rather than running around setting up a light each time. Have them all set up pre-shoot, and then put them in groups. Or of course, if you're in a studio, you can set, you know, fill light, main light, hair light, background lights on separate groups, so you can fire them independently to get meter readings, see how they look independently without having to go over to the flash, reach up on the light stand and turn them on, off. You just do it from your camera and fire them as you need be. So that is a really cool feature. Alright, the other thing is on the side here, you've got TX, which means transmitter. So that's, you flick it to TX mode to be the transmitter. They are transmitter receivers in one, but they just don't automatically switch. So RX is your receiver. And then another cool feature which you've got is 602. So these become RF602 triggers. They are not RF602 receivers, but if you've got the Yongnuo YN563, they have the RF602, RF603 receivers built into them. So you can of course flick it to that and I'll be able to fire this one. So if I turn that on, turn my YN563 on, make sure it's on RX602 mode, and it has to be on channel 16. There is no channel selectors on these. So it has to be on channel 16 for your 602s, but now if I hit the test button on top, you can see that fire. Hopefully you can see that. So that's pretty cool. Now, it doesn't have a channel selector, so it is stuck on channel 16, so that is one of its downfalls. But if you're fully equipped with YN563s, good option to have an RF602 trigger. But where another good thing about this is, if you are a shooter and you're running RF602 receivers already, replace your 602 trigger with this. You won't have group function, you won't have channel selection. However, the 602 runs on that odd battery, so it's a real pain to get those batteries. So these ones run on AAA batteries. So if you bought one of these, you could use this as a transmitter for your RF602 receivers and your YN563, and do away with using that, what is it, CR02, whatever it's called, battery. So while it's not the best, it is a convenient feature. Alright, so now I'm going to talk about transmitting and receiving. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do when you pull these out of the box, you get in the box, I've got 2 trigger receivers and instructions. The instructions aren't too bad, they are in reasonable English, however they're not 100% clear. For example, throw it away. For example, you don't get a channel selector. However, they do allow you to choose the channel, set the channel. And the way you do that is you turn all your flashes that are to receiver mode, bar 1, press and hold your test button and turn it on until this starts flashing red. Do that with all bar 1 of your flashes, so you have to have one as a transceiver obviously. Press and hold your test button, turn it on, and that should flash red. Same with this one, so it's in RX mode, turn it to on, press and hold your test button, then turn it on until it flashes red. And then with your last one, so I've got 4 here, so I can show you, with your last one, I'll turn that off, put it in TX mode so it becomes the transmitter. Press and hold your test button and turn it on, and this will flash green. And what you'll see is, while you're holding it, is your receivers, I don't know if you can see that there, your receivers will turn red, solid red, which means they're connected. This one's still flashing green, I'm still holding the test button, but all my receivers are red, so it's paired up. A little bit like putting it in pairing mode with your Bluetooth and your mobile phone. So it doesn't have a channel selection, but it does have a digital handshake. So turn these all back off and turn them all back on, and they're now paired. So if you watch my sync light, that's flashing because they're all done. If I turn them all back on, you'll see they're all flashing. Okay, so let's have a look. We've got them paired. You can also use these as wireless shutters, but you have to buy the cable. So this is the cable from the SC-DC2. So this is for my D7000. So I can put a receiver, RX mode, into the PC sync cord, into my shutter, transmitter in my hand, ching ching ching, press the test button, I've got a wireless shutter release for my camera. So that's another little feature, so make sure you get the right cable to match your battery, to match your camera. And saying that too, these are brand specific, so for Nikon, Nikon, you have to buy the brand one. If you've got a Canon, you have to buy Canon. Sony, buy Sony. Olympus, buy Olympus. They do make it for all these, and in fact on the instructions it even shows you what each foot looks like for each one, so how the foot changes. Alright, let's do a quick show you here. So I've got my RF604. I'm going to plug this one in. Doesn't matter which one I plug in, whether it's a transceiver or receiver. Put that there. Plug another one in. Put this one there. And I will stay with my 563. Put that one on there. There we go. And I'll turn this one on, and I'll also turn it to we'll turn this one on. I want to turn it off RX mode, so that's just in manual mode now. And make sure it's at 128 power. I want full power. There we go, turn this one on. So they're all in manual mode. Okay, alright, so this first one, make sure it's in RX mode, so receiver, and it's on group B. This one, it's on RX mode, turn it on, and I want to turn it to group C. This one here, oops, turn it to RX mode, turn it on, and I'm going to set this one up on group B, so group A. So here we go, so we've got group A, group B, group C. This one will be my transmitter, so I'll turn that to TX. Now you can see all three lights on there are lit up on the back of the TX, and each light is lit up individually for which group it's on. So with all three lights firing, press it, all three strobes will fire. Turn the B off and the middle one won't fire. Turn C off and it will only be this one, A, group A, that'll fire. So you can see that's just A. Now I turn on group B. Now I turn on group C. Fire these two. I can fire the two end ones and not fire the middle one. So that's the group function. So basically on the transmitter you can turn all three lights on to fire all three. When they're in RX mode, you can only turn one on. So you tell it, the RX, you tell it what group it's on, what group, not plural, and with the transceiver you tell it what groups or group you want it to fire. So with the transceiver, the transmitter, you can fire all three groups. So overall, it's not a bad little thing. Once you work out how to pair them up with channel, as I said, out of the box they're universal, so you can fire them straight away. You don't have to do the pairing. But of course, if other people are firing in your area and they don't do it either, you're going to be transmitting. So overall, a really strong, reliable flash, 2.4 gig frequency as you expect these days, not 433. So really strong, reliable, shoot around corners, through doorways, through walls, 100 meters away, and it's got the lock nuts so they won't fall off. They've seen really sturdy AAA batteries. So good battery life by all accounts. So look forward to doing a shoot with these in the coming week and showing you how we can go through that and get our light ratios using the group function. Anyway, check out hypop.com.au to find out more. And this is John Mather saying arrivederci.
Do you have a passion for photography and are looking to get the best results with quality equipment? Welcome to Hypop, your online store specialising in photography equipment. We're a 100% Australian-owned and operated company, specialising in continuous lighting, flash strobe lighting, backgrounds, product photography, tripod, and accessories. With our genuine customer service, insured tracking and shipping, and our 2-year warranty, you found the right shop for all your photography needs. So now you can capture your perfect image. hypop.com.au